Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can hear me, if you can see me, if everything is looking good, can you please message in the chat that everything is good. Please do like the stream also. We have close to 25 people, 30 people who are watching the stream live. I want to get as many likes as possible because then it will motivate us to do these kind of streams more often. Let me first look at a few questions from the chat. Anchal Yadav is saying, sir, my academic background is poor, 7775. But in final placement offer, is there any discrimination? I mean, discrimination is of a very big word to use, no? So it depends on what you mean by discrimination. Yugal Jain, hello sir, following on my details, PWD candidate, 10th 76, 12th 81.5, graduation 65.66. What is my outlook to make or crack a call from IIMA? Amit Yaduvanshi is saying, yes, all good. Okay, one of the questions that we get very often when we are taking any of the streams or anyone actually comes to our chat, or we also get a lot of mails, is from students who tell us that, okay, I got 80% in 10th, 70% in 12th, and my CGPA is say 7.5. Do I have a chance of getting into a top institute? So these are the kind of questions that I wanted to answer now. We have developed a very useful tool. You can actually search for the tool. Just go to Google. Once you go to Google, you can just type in CAT percentile required. So if you type in CAT percentile required, Cracku CAT percentile required. Okay, this is a very common phrase used by many people. So you can go here. Here you have to enter your details. You have to basically enter how much you have scored in 10th, how much you scored in 12th. And say, for example, if you want me to enter my details, say I'll say I'm Maruti. Out of 100, my score is say 80. And in 12th, say I scored slightly less, I scored only 75. And undergraduate CGPA say 7.7. These are all random numbers that I'm putting so that you get a sense of how to use this tool. Work X in month is say 24 months. Say I've worked for 2 years. I'm an engineer, general and male. So if you click on submit after filling these details, you get the percentiles that you have to target to actually get into a good IIM. For example, IIM Ahmedabad, you would be required to score 99.97 plus. IIM Bangalore also very high, 99.95 plus. IIM Calcutta on the other hand, you'll have to score 99.8 plus. IIM Lucknow. So you get a list of institutes and the percentiles that you need to score to get a shortlist from each one of them. One of the things that you should remember is that especially if your academics are not very good, then certain doors are closed, but not all doors are closed. For example, what do I mean by good academic record? If your 10th is 80 plus, if your 12th is 80 plus, and if your CGPA is also 8 plus, then that is a very good academic record. If you have an academic record like that, then you have a good academic record and you are not starting off behind anybody else. But if you haven't performed very well in one or more than one, say your 10th is good but your 12th is say 75, which is less than 80, or say you did not study in your engineering or in your graduation and your CGPA is say under 7 or under 6, then you know that there are some issues with your profile. It is not an ideal profile, but still it wouldn't mean that you would not get shortlists or calls from the big IIMs if you do well in CAT. One of the things that you should understand is that probably institutes like say IIM Bangalore or IIM Indore are completely out of range if you don't have a very good profile. For example, if you're looking at IIM Bangalore, I think if your profile is not very good, if you haven't done well in either 10th or 12th or undergraduation, you lose a lot of marks. So you'll have to score really high, something like 99.99 plus to get a shortlist. But nearly every other IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Calcutta, IIM Kozhikode, all of them are still open to you. For example, if you're looking at each of the IIMs, IIM Calcutta is one of the favorite institutes of most people who are taking CAT. It has a laid-back culture, which I think attracts a lot of students. But in addition to that, many people who are taking CAT don't have the perfect profile. Nearly 80%, 85% of people are not very happy with their profile. So all of them look at IIM Calcutta as some sort of an institute which will help them redeem themselves. So that is also another reason why many people look up to IIM Calcutta, because IIM Calcutta doesn't have weightage for their graduation scores. So if you're looking at the shortlist criteria for IIM Calcutta, it has 56% weightage for CAT, it has 10% weightage for 10th, 15% weightage for 12th, and 4 marks for gender diversity. But it doesn't have any weightage for undergraduation. So you can rest assured that if your 10th and 12th, which for most students is above 80%, then you don't start off at any disadvantage, irrespective of how poor your graduation scores are. You have to just cross the minimum cutoff. I think the minimum cutoff to take CAT is 50% in graduation. But once you cross that, you will not be at any disadvantage. So that is something that you should definitely keep in mind. And if your 10th or 12th is not ideal, if say one of them is above 80, but the other one is between 70 and 80, then instead of scoring 99.7, which is what most students would need to get a call from IIM Calcutta, you will have to score something like say 99.8, which itself is difficult. I'm not saying it is trivial, but these are things that you have to accept. These are because you haven't done very well in your 10th or 12th, you have made some mistakes in the past for whatever reason. Now is the time for you to work harder than the others. That is how you have to approach the examination. You shouldn't approach the examination with fear or with some sort of regret. You should feel that whatever has happened has happened. I just need to score slightly better than a person who has a very good profile. Then I'm going to get a shortlist from IIM Calcutta. That is how you have to look at it. For IIM Ahmedabad, it is actually very straightforward. If your 10th or 12th is not very good, then there is still a chance for you to get a shortlist. And I know people personally whose 10th and 12th was not very good, but they were able to actually get a IIM Ahmedabad shortlist. IIM Ahmedabad gives a shortlist for the top 50 students in every category. That is, if you're in the top 50 engineers who have taken CAT, you will get a shortlist. If you're in the top 50 commerce graduates, then you will get a shortlist. Now, this would imply that an engineer, if they want a shortlist based on this top 50 criteria, they have to score very, very well. They have to score something like 99.97 plus percentile. Now, that is very difficult. I'm not saying that is easy, but still that is a chance that is there for you. And like I said earlier, I personally know students who used to work at Cracku. We used to have content managers. We still have content managers. So we hire people who are smart guys who are preparing for CAT, and we use their help to build good content for CAT. So one of the students who was working as a content manager with us a couple of years ago, he didn't have an ideal profile. I think his 10th was above 80, but his 12th was below 80. And I think his graduation also was below 80. So he knew that odds were actually quite difficult. In fact, if I'm not wrong, one of them was in his 60s. I think either 12th or graduation was in 60s. So when he was taking this, when he was taking the examination, he knew beforehand how much he had to score. So we used to have a discussion about what his percentile should be. And he knew that he had to get 99.97 plus. And he actually got 99.97 plus. He worked very hard. He used to take a lot of mocks. He was very, very focused. And he got an IIM Ahmedabad shortlist. He did his interview well. He was not able to convert it. He got some wait list which didn't move. But he actually joined IIM Calcutta because he was focused on IIM Ahmedabad, even with a not so ideal profile, because he did extremely well in CAT. That helped him convert IIM Calcutta, and he graduated out of it. Essentially, the moral of the story is this. It will be slightly more difficult for you if you don't have an ideal profile, but even the doors of IIM Ahmedabad haven't closed up on you. So don't feel disappointed. Just take it as something in your stride. Ensure that you work harder. We have a super chat. We don't really get super chat, so let me read the super chat. Hi Maruti sir, I'm an average student. I'm from general category. My academic scores are low. 10th 63, 12th 50, BBA 65%. I have a 3-year gap after BBA without work. Should I go for IIM business school or give CET? If you really want my advice, send me a mail. My email address is maruti@cracku.in. Because I would want to know more about your profile before I give you any serious advice with respect to your career. Just based on your profile and your gap years, I would say if you don't have a job, if it is already been 3 years after you finished your BBA and you don't have any work ex, then I would say you have to cut short your losses at some point. Then I would say probably you should definitely take up whatever institute you're getting. But again, it depends from profile to profile, it will be different. And so send me a mail, I'll look at your profile in detail and then we can discuss this further. Guys, if you're watching this stream, please do like the stream, because the more likes we get, the more reach the video will have and the more motivation we will have to do this kind of streams more often. Naman is saying, hello sir, 776, how much work-ex and CAT score should I aim for IIM ABC and FMS? Naman, I think I have already mentioned, go to cracku.in/CAT percentile required for IIM calls. If you go to this page, or you can just search Cracku CAT percentile required for IIM calls. We have actually posted the link also. If you search for it, you'll have to enter your details. You should enter your name, your 10th, 12th, undergraduation, work ex, and your category. And then if you click on submit, you are going to get the required percentiles for each of the calls. These are fairly accurate. These are not 100% accurate, but you'll get a good idea about what the required percentile is. Anil Kumar is saying, will IIMA remove grad weightage this year too? IIMA keeps changing its criteria, but the way you have to look at it is, to get into IIMA, you have to do very well in CAT. Now, whether it is 99.7 or 99.8, it is not that big of a difference right now. After the examination is over, after you have submitted your answer sheet, and every question will matter. But from a preparation standpoint, 99.7 being your target or 99.8 being your target, it wouldn't really matter. Your strategy, the amount of effort you should put in, doesn't really matter. So that is how you should look at it. Whether somebody has scored 70 or 80 in 10th and 12th, their preparation should be exactly the same. Sai Kumar Somishetty is saying, hello sir, I have 9.8 in 10th, 97.6 in plus 2, 9.3 in BTech. What is the percentile required for ABC? See, your profile is a profile which is very good. If you have work X, then it becomes even easier. Ideally, you should have say 3 years work X or 4 years work X. Then it would be perfect for A and B. But this is very good. I think you should definitely aim for 99.6 plus. Then you'll get most of the shortlists. Okay, Sai Kumar is saying 26 months work X also. Yeah, you have a perfect profile. Just focus on getting 99.6 percentile and clearing all the cutoffs of each of the sectionals. Saksham Sharma is saying, sir, I have heard about people giving CAT 3 times despite not getting above 90 percentile. What are the mistakes they make and what can we do differently? One of the things is, there is a very famous quote. It's a quote that I find particularly useful. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the results to be different. So one of the things that you should figure out is do an honest introspection about what happened or what went wrong on the day of the examination or in your preparation. Because in my opinion, anybody who is preparing seriously for CAT can definitely score above 85 percentile. CAT is not a very difficult examination. It is not rocket science. Scoring 99 plus will require some luck, will require some probably aptitude. But scoring 85 plus is not at all difficult. And if you're not able to do 85 plus after putting in the effort, then you'll have to introspect really and figure out what went wrong. Were you taking enough mocks? Was your mental state, that is your nervousness or anxiety, was it very high on the day of the examination? Did you perform poorly because of the stress and the pressure? Did you do well in each of the 3 exam sections? Did you commit any silly mistakes? These are all the things that you have to figure out. Did you have enough practice? One of the common mistakes that people do is that they watch a lot of videos, they get a lot of theory, but they never practice. They don't solve enough questions. So you have to figure out what went wrong. Now, it will be different for different people, but you should have a honest introspection to figure out and correct the mistakes that you're making. But in my opinion, anybody can score above 85 percentile with 6 months of effort. Anybody. And if you're not able to do that once, then you have to figure out what went wrong. And the second time you're doing it, you should ensure that you're talking to some mentor. You should ensure that you yourself are figuring it out, not fooling yourself that what are the mistakes that I made, was my preparation consistent, and then you should attempt it again. Mohammed Yusuf is saying, hello sir, how to increase speed in logical reasoning? There is no like magic word that you can say to improve your speed or accuracy in either verbal or quant or logical reasoning. Logical reasoning would require you to solve different kinds of sets on a regular basis. One of the most important things with respect to logical reasoning is how you represent the data that is there in the set. Once you know what is the pictorial form of representing the data, is it a table? Is it a graph? If it is a table, what should the rows be? What should the columns be? If you are understanding these kind of things, or whether you should draw a circle, is it an arrangements question? Is it a missing number in a table question? Is it a scheduling question? How do you represent a scheduling question? Once you figure out how to actually put the data on paper, 50% of the set is solved. Because then you have to just go through the clues again and again and trying to fill up the information better. So getting that sense or getting that idea about how to represent the data will require more and more practice and also some confidence. And you will gain confidence only by actually solving the sets. If you don't solve sets, you will not feel confident that you can actually solve a set by looking at it. Suraj is saying, sir, I have 77.3 in 10th, 79.2 in 12th, and graduation in BTech is 89.8. What will be the options? Your profile is good. It is not very good, but it is not very bad. I'll tell you why, because you have just missed out on 80 in 10th and just missed out on, you are very close to 80 in 12th, but your graduation is very good. Now, this is not a bad profile. You have to just do slightly better in CAT as compared to the others. Try to get above 95 percentile in CAT as a first step. And if you can improve it even further, then you will have a lot more options available. Kumar Swami is saying, sir, is CAT 7-month course covers the complete syllabus? We have just started the 7-month course for CAT. I think I have just mentioned it here also. Yeah, we have just started the 7-month course for CAT. The batch has just started a couple of days back. It is a very, very good course. People who are looking to take CAT in November should definitely check out the 7-month CAT course. It has all the concepts covered. It has 15 mocks and 45 sectionals. It has a very good question bank where you will get questions sorted according to the different topics as well as the difficulty level. So it is something that you should definitely check it out. Every day we give you a list of videos that you have to watch and a set of questions that you have to answer. So the schedule is completely taken care of by us, and we'll ensure that you cover the entire portion if you are just sticking to the schedule. So that is something that you should definitely check out. Prem Raj is asking, hello sir, any waivers for CAT repeaters for enrolling in CAT courses? We do give very good discounts for students who have taken CAT before. If you're looking for any discount based on your CAT performance or on the basis of your academic performance, please do send a mail to support@cracku.in. Guys, we have around 70 people who are watching this stream live. Please do like the stream. If you like the stream, then we will get more people to watch these kind of streams. And we will also be motivated to do these kind of streams more regularly. Knowledge Birdie is saying, how can we build a good profile except scores? Since I have 86 in 10th, 92 in 12th, should I go for internships? Is that enough? Don't worry too much about profile. In general, the way I look at it is your MBA is just one step. How you are getting into MBA should not change the way you actually approach life. Whatever you are doing in life should be based on your interests and your passions. You shouldn't join an NGO to get into an MBA institute. You shouldn't join an internship to get into an MBA institute. You should do an internship to get good exposure to the corporate world so that you can decide better what kind of career you would want. And when you're following that path and when you're doing an MBA, you will gain more out of an MBA because you have done an internship in a field that you probably have interest in. So when people are discussing the different curriculums in the MBA, some case in the MBA, you will be able to relate yourself better. That is how you should approach it. Right now, I would say just focus on your ACADS, and after ACADS, do internships because internships are good. You'll get a good exposure to different fields, and then it will help you later. You shouldn't do an internship just to try to get into an MBA. If you're looking at it that way, I don't think it will, you will gain a lot from it. Let me answer a few more questions. Karthik Agarwal is saying, sir, does 1 year gap matter in terms of shortlisting? In terms of shortlisting, it doesn't matter at all. Because if you're looking at the criteria, for example, if you're looking at the criteria of this is IIM Kozhikode. IIM Kozhikode also, if you're looking at it, the final weightage 44% is for CAT, 44% is for PI, and for resume it is 12%. Here the resume is slightly subjective. So in these kind of institutes where there is some sort of subjective criteria, it might matter. But normally for shortlisting, even for IIM Kozhikode, for example, if you're looking at the shortlisting criteria for IIM Kozhikode, 45% of the weightage is for CAT, 25% is for 10th, 15% is for 12th, 10% is for gender and academic diversity, and 5% is for WorkX. Now, when you're having a gap, it will matter in the interview, because in the interview, they are going to ask you questions about why there is a gap. Now, in general, it doesn't look good if you have a gap in your resume, because you yourself will not be super confident when you are explaining your profile or when you're explaining why you want to do an MBA. Your why MBA answer should be a very smooth answer. You should essentially say that, okay, this happened in my life, then I did this, and finally I want to do an MBA over here and then do that. So it should flow smoothly. Now, when you have a break in your career, it is difficult to explain why you want to do an MBA after a break. So that will definitely bother you even when you're preparing for the interview, if you're not able to get a good explanation for it. And that confidence will definitely show in the interview. That is the reason I would recommend you that if you have a break, try to get a job before the interviews, because you yourself will feel more confident. Drumit Beranani is saying, is CAT toughest exam for MBA and worldwide? CAT is not a very easy examination because of the competition that is involved. You know that there are close to 2 lakh people who take this examination every year. So it is a tough examination as far as competition is concerned. But from a syllabus standpoint, I don't think it is a very difficult examination. Renu Canvas is saying, good evening sir, I have 76 in 10th, 62 in 12th and 68 in graduation. And I have 7 years of work ex in technical department. If I want to switch my profile to any other branch, let's say HR, will I face any problem? You won't face any problem, but if you have 7 years of work ex, you should definitely consider doing an executive MBA. Because doing a post-graduation or a diploma MBA, PGP kind of an MBA, is something that might not benefit you quite a lot, based on the kind of profiles that other people will have. Most people over there will have work ex of either 3 years or 4 years. If you are already having 7 years of work ex, then probably the companies which are coming to shortlist you, those companies will be lesser. But if you are doing an executive MBA where most people have 7 years plus work ex, you will fit right into the batch. Parth Goyal is saying 8, 9, 7 gem fresher IIM ABC possible. A and C are definitely possible. Even B is possible. B also, IIM Bangalore has a criteria that if you are coming in the top 10 candidates in that particular category, you will get a direct shortlist to interview. So all of these are possible. It just depends on how much effort you are putting in, how you are performing on the day of the examination, and what your CAT percentile will be. Suraj Singh is saying, my high school is 85, diploma 74, appearing in BTech final year. What will be the options above 95 percentile? I think you will definitely have some shortlist from the new IIMs, probably some from the baby IIMs, and maybe some from IITs if you are able to cross say 97, 98 percentile. Raj Mankar is saying, sir, I am a Cracku student. Just want to take a moment to thank you and Team Cracku for building a great CAT platform. As an IT professional, I am really amazed by the idea of the daily target product. Daily target is one of the products that many people use every single day. Thousands of students take our daily target tests every single day. In daily target, you get 1 test in quant, 1 test in LRDI and 1 test in verbal. Each of the tests individually will take you less than 15 minutes to actually solve. And all of these tests have detailed video solutions. Because what we believe in Cracku is that at Cracku, we believe that you have to put in efforts on a consistent basis. You shouldn't put in efforts for a long period of time, but infrequently. It shouldn't happen that once in every 2 weeks you are sitting and studying for 10 to 12 hours. That is a very bad way of preparing for CAT. What we believe is every single day you should prepare for 1 to 2 hours from now till CAT, and that will be more than sufficient for you to do well in the examination. Because of that, we have actually started the daily target course, wherein every single day you will get this test. Definitely do check it out. It will benefit you quite a lot. And anybody who is enrolled to the complete Cracku course or the 7-month CAT batch course, they will get automatic access to the daily targets. Yatin Kalra is saying, my profile is 10, 10, 8 in graduation as I have 77 percentile. I am a non-engineer, commerce students. Can I get a call from IIMA? In your case, the issue will definitely not be profile. Let me put it this way, because your 10th and 12th are very good. Your graduation also, 8 is pretty good. The only thing you have to focus on right now, like thousands of other students, is ensuring that your CAT percentile is above 99. As you are a non-engineer, I think if you get 99.3, 99.4, you have an extremely good chance of getting a call from IIM Ahmedabad. You should definitely check out the CAT percentile required to get into IIMA. Use that to actually figure out how much is the percentile that you actually need. Balam Shams is saying, Balal Shams, my 10th standard is 79.8 percentile, 12th standard is 68 percentile, graduation is 58 percentile in 2009, no work ex, what percentile is needed for IIM ABC? Your profile is slightly, it is slightly difficult for you unless you do extremely well in the examination, if you are being fairly honest. Because your 10th is also less than 80, your 12th is less than 70, and your graduation is less than 60. Ideally, if out of the 3, if you have 2 to be good, that is if 2 of them are above 80 and 1 of them is less than 80, I think it would not hurt you so much. But if all 3 of your scores in 10th, 12th and academics in BTech are less than ideal, then you'll have to do extremely well in CAT to get a call from ABC. Like I said earlier, if you can get 99.97 plus, then you'll definitely get calls from A and C. Asta Agarwal is saying, my academics are 8.6, 72, 74, 3 years work ex. What percentile should I aim for top colleges? I'm a non-engineer, I'm a student of Cracku. You're a non-engineer, you're a girl, so you will have points for academic diversity as well as gender diversity. Your 10th score is good, 8.6 is a very good score. 12th and graduation are not ideal, but still you're non-engineer. So I think even the graduation score of 74 is pretty good. The only issue is with your respect to your 12th score, but that won't matter too much. You also have 3 years work ex, so this is a good profile. But you have to focus quite a lot on doing well in CAT. Try to score above 98 percentile. If you score above 98 percentile, you'll get definitely many shortlists from Blackie. That is the top 6 IIMs. Guys, please do like the stream. We have close to 50 people who are watching the stream live and we have only 70 likes. We can definitely do some more likes. Don't spam, man. If you spam, we are going to block you. I won't answer the questions of people who are spamming because I think that's actually super rude. Just Piano Melodies is saying, just want to attest to Cracku call predictors accuracy. Got all the calls which are probable and likely for me. I'm very happy for you. Arun is saying, sir, 89, 91, 83, OBC, do I have a chance of getting into top B schools? I think your profile is extremely good. 89 in 10th, 91 in 12th and 83 in BTech is very, very good. Just focus on doing well in CAT. Try to get to at least 98 percentile. Then I think you'll get most of the shortlists. Ritik Gupta is saying, does percentile make a difference in the interview? This is something which is probably slightly controversial. In ideal situation is that the interviewers don't know your percentile when they're interviewing you. But many of the interviewers, they can get a guess about what your percentile will be. Sometimes they actually ask you in the interview itself. Sometimes based on your profile, your 10th, your 12th, which college you're coming from. Sometimes they ask you questions which are quant questions. So based on it, they get an idea about how your profile will be or how much your percentile will be. And even though that won't or that shouldn't have an impact on how your interview goes, many times subconsciously, if you have a very high percentile, your interview marks also will be good. Shivam Kumar is saying, sir, 10th, 67, 12, 73, graduation 79, so I am Ahmedabad, available non-engineer. Non-engineer, I am Ahmedabad, based on your profile, I think you have to definitely go for the top 50 percentile, top 50 students who are non-engineers. So I think you should definitely try to get to around, say, 99 percentile for a non-engineer. I think then you have a very good shot. Okay guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. This is it for today. What I essentially want to end it with is one thing. Focus on what is in your hands. Your 10th score or your 12th score or your BTech score is not in your hands. Those things have already gone by. What is in your hands is still quite valuable. You have CAT completely in your hands. How much effort you put in is in your hands. So try to make the best use of whatever is in your hands. Try to focus on getting 99 percentile plus for non-engineers and 99.6, 99.7 plus for engineers. Then I think you will get most of the shortlists that you would want. So all the best and prepare well for CAT.